Welcome back to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, and Nico just gave us a nice history lesson about the Templars because we found a manuscript that could have belonged to Plantard. Well, it's believed to have belonged to Plantard, and that's the reason he got killed. So let's talk about it.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Let's have a look at it.
Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobino.
Huh. Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far from it. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobino guy?
At the Kroon Museum. I'll give you the address.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this manuscript here.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the wicked queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said mirror, mirror on the wall, wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid, Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either.
Peter Pan.
A knight with a crystal ball. Now, there's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
That's a handy little trick you got there, George. What's this?
There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover. It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
What's this here?
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod.
Now that's quite an important picture we have here. Well, it's more relevant now than the rest of these. So how do we... Ah, there we are. Do I want to show these? No, let's head off to the museum.
Maybe I'll check out the Kroon Museum.
I'm sure you'll find it useful, George.
Let's head off to the Kroon Museum, folk. Ah, the Kroon Museum. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Sorry, I think I've been possessed. Museum. Music room. Okay, let's head to the museum. There's nothing really over here. I've never been stuck at this part before, and I was outside here for ages and ages, and it had nothing to do with that. So, let's see. Well, I don't think I need to examine these just yet. But doesn't this object here look familiar?
In the case was a spindly tripod, blackened with age and pitted with rust. It was identical to the tripod pictured on the manuscript. A notice identified it as 15th century from Western Ireland. It had been found in Loch Marn at the site of a Knights Templar preceptory. Ireland!
What's that?
This tripod was found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your voice down.
I'm sorry, I was excited.
So, let's talk to this
Pardon me?
guy over here.
Oui, monsieur?
Are you Lobino?
Oh, no. Fancy you mistaking me for him. No. I am the deputy custodian.
But Lobino does work here.
Work? I wouldn't go so far as to call it that. It's studied here most days, but as you can see for yourself, not today.
Let's ask a few questions.
Can you give me any further information about the tripod?
Certainly, monsieur. It's infamous. That tripod, that belonged to John Dee.
What's the importance of John Dee's tripod?
Dee was the most famous escapologist of the 16th century. The Houdini of his time.
Don't you mean alchemist? Escapologists use ropes, chains, and handcuffs, not tripods.
Well, whatever he was, that is the tripod he used in his experiments.
What kind of experiments did John Dee perform with his tripod?
Oh, the usual. Didn't you study chemistry at school?
Yeah, but we skipped over thaumatology. Can I take a closer look at the tripod?
What? Get it out of the case? Ah, no! That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
How sophisticated?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John Dee at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Wait, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you see? If I studied art and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history.
At your age? Dream on.
Let's talk about the manuscript.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar, though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park the... No. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar. Not like Monsieur Lobino.
Lobino. Is anything up here I can...
Thanks for your help.
There's a few things to look at, but nothing important just yet. Well, actually, let's...
Hey, no!
Ah, well.
No, monsieur. No.
What's wrong?
You must not enter the exhibits.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why I tried that. It'd save a lot of
This
hassle.
is definitely the one on the manuscript. The Templar connection confirmed it. I was tempted to go to Ireland and check it out.
I hate it when the music does that. I cannot hear what George is saying at all. I gotta read the subtitles, man. So, what was that he said? Oh, the aeroport. So, shall we head to Ireland, folks? Let's head to Ireland.
Several hours later, I arrived in Ireland, the Emerald Isle. I'd been lucky to get a bus from Dublin to the tiny village of Lochmarne. On the way out, the driver told me there was only one service a day.
Well, folks, we're in an awesome place here. I love this part of the game. We're in Ireland, we're in the Lochmarne, and I think I'll call it a wrap. Guys. You're about to see some more kick-ass action. And I'll see you guys soon, I believe. I'll see you guys soon. Farewell. Stay tuned for the next part. Yeah.